Please let Britney have a break. You should have rules for the game, whether it's Britney, any woman, or kids. You know what I mean? There have to be rules to the game. Okay. Also, don't drive way too fast or into other people. In an amazing turn of events, new party video of Diddy and Britney Spears has come out, causing a lot of talk and excitement. Their surprising link has gotten people and the media talking about how they talk to each other. What do these new facts about Britney mean for her future? What effect will this have on Diddy's reputation? Come along with us as we look at how new party video of Diddy and Britney Spears changes everything. The new video is a big hit. A link has been made between Britney Spears and Sean Diddy Combs, but it may not be what most people think it is. Many people might think of Diddy's fancy parties when they think of these two stars, but the link between them goes back to Britney's old business boss, Lou M. Taylor. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group was started by Taylor, the famous management company that was very important in Britney's life, especially during her 2008 conservatorship, which got a lot of attention. People have looked closely at TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group because it is involved in Britney's conservatorship. A lot of friends and critics said that Britney's management company made it hard for her to make choices and be free. There has been disagreement about Taylor's impact during this time. People began to question whether TriStar's choices were really best for Britney, or if they were more interested in making money and keeping control over her job and image. This background gives the link between Britney and Diddy even more depth, especially when you think about how both have dealt with the intense pressures of fame. The picture of Britney Spears and Sean Diddy Combs together in public has become a talking point about their ex-relationship and their work in the entertainment business. Diddy and Britney were seen together at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas in 2007, which became a famous example of this link. They were joined by rapper 50 Cent and model Paris Hilton, which made the event very famous and got a lot of media attention. Diddy made a big entrance at his 33rd birthday party in 2002, which adds to the idea that he is a superhero in the showbiz world. The way he was brought in on a gold palanquin showed how showy he liked things to be. This flashy show was a perfect example of the high-class life that Diddy has been living for years. There were a lot of famous people at the event, like Britney Spears, Donald Trump, and Janet Jackson, who all took pictures with the lucky boy. Britney and Diddy's lives coming together shows how complicated celebrity culture can be. You should have rules for the game, so get Britney or any woman or child. Do you get what I mean? There should be rules to the game. Also, don't drive way too fast or into other people. In the public eye, both have dealt with their problems, though in different ways. Diddy has always been known as a smart businessman and a party maker. On the other hand, Britney's journey has been full of problems, especially when it comes to her mental health and independence. The connection between Lou M. Taylor and TriStar makes us wonder about the choices that stars and their jobs face behind the scenes. Do not care about what other people say or how they say about you. Also, it shows how hard things can be when you're famous. Because Britney had a hard time while she was under custody. It is important to note how the media and general opinion have changed over the years. Britney, you cannot expect everyone to be perfect. Life is not that way. Though Britney's link to Diddy was made through TriStar might look like a deep dive into the world of celebrities. It makes me wonder even more. What other interesting links do these stars have, and how do they still affect each other's lives? Next, let's look at Britney's strange connection to Diddy. Britney Spears' strange link to Diddy. Britney Spears has been in the news a lot over the years for many reasons, but her link to Sean Diddy Combs is one of the strangest. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group is the source of this link. This is a famous management company that has been criticized for its role in Spears' conservatorship. This contentious relationship went for more than 10 years and caused the pop star a lot of stress. Lou M. Taylor helped start TriStar and is now its president and CEO. He used to be Spears' business boss. Britney has said in public that Taylor was a big part of setting up her conservatorship in 2008. Lou M. Taylor has worked in show business for a long time, and her working relationship with Diddy goes back to the early 1990s. It's not clear if Taylor is still managing Combs, but in a 2019 interview, she was happy to say that he was one of her A-list clients. The fact that Taylor and Diddy are connected adds another layer to the complicated story of Britney's life and business. In her book, Britney has also spoken out against Robin Greenhill, who is the director of services for TriStar. His name has come up again lately because of a lawsuit that producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed against Diddy. Will be up for days too. The case says Diddy did some very bad things. Combs abused, threatened, and forced people to do effing FRs to protect his image and hide what he did. Even though these things have been said, TriStar, Taylor, and Greenhill have denied doing anything wrong, saying that Britney's conservatorship was set up based on the advice of lawyers and court approval. The legal problems Diddy is having right now with TriStar have made people wonder more. Rodney Jones' claim says that Greenhill was one of several people who helped Diddy do what he is said to have done wrong, such as effing, forced work, kidnapping, which is what the indictment says happened to do this. In the case, Jones said that Greenhill was the accountant who made sure that workers were paid. He said she was in charge of the money transfers that made these activities possible, which made her responsible for Diddy's claimed crimes. Sean Diddy Combs is being sued for a lot of new things. Diddy has strongly denied all the claims made against him. It was in August that he asked the court to throw out Jones' case, saying it was inappropriate and an attempt to make money off of his fame. But his problems didn't end when he was jailed on trafficking charges. He's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York City, while he waits for his hearing. Britney Spears is still trying to find her own way after being controlled for years. The similarities between her story and the ongoing saga involving Diddy and TriStar show how complicated it can be to handle a celebrity and find your own freedom. I think it's very important to make that clear. I've chosen the name Diddy as my best choice. There are a lot of unexpected turns in Britney Spears' relationship with Diddy. That being said, what are the new accusations against Diddy? How big is the problem? What does this mean for his future? Now we'll talk about Diddy's shocking legal battles and find out what the claims are really about. Because of the latest accusations against Diddy Combs, he is in a lot of legal trouble. He has been accused of planning events called freak-offs. Did he pick out partygoers to go to another VIP freak-off in a room next door? He is accused of leading elaborate performances while abusing his power. These performances reportedly included many people and were even filmed. The situation has gotten so bad that the indictment says some of these events went on for days, requiring Combs and the other people involved to get IV fluids to recover from the drugs they used. Despite the seriousness of the accusations, Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that include trafficking, misconduct, and transportation. It's not just the accusations that are making him fight in court, they also have to do with how they make him look in public. People know Combs as a well-known person in the music business. He is now being looked at in a different way, though. Mark Agnifilo, Combs' lawyer, recently reacted to what federal agents said about a raid on Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Authorities are said to have taken away about 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube during this raid. Agnifilo played down the number, saying that it might not be as crazy as it sounds because a lot of Americans buy things in bulk. They have this brand new ice cube therapy. He said that Combs' house was close to a Costco, which made it sound like it wasn't odd for someone to have a lot of those kinds of things. Agnifilo also made it clear that these so-called freak-offs were voluntary encounters. He said, "This country can't become so fundamentalist that it thinks this is a bad thing. If it were. There would be no more people." His comments are meant to shift the attention from the accusations to the idea that activities between adults that are done with their permission shouldn't be seen as wrong. Agnifilo says that his client's actions are not illegal because they are personal decisions made by adults, despite the claims. Not that I'm sorry, though. What I did in that video is unacceptable. Combs got into trouble with the law when his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura sued him, saying he hurt her physically. This case brought back to light claims that Combs had done wrong in the past, even though the case was quickly dropped after it became public. It led to many more claims being made. Combs is accused of controlling women for years by forcing them to do things they didn't want to do. He often used threats to keep his power over his victims. They said that Combs made it easier for his crimes to happen by using the same companies and networks that helped him become famous. Holmes was caught about 10 months after the first accusations were made. The prosecutors wanted to keep him in jail, but his defense team wanted him to be freed on a $50 million bond and have electronic tracking at home. U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski, on the other hand, agreed with the prosecutors and said that Combs should stay in jail until his trial. While the court case is going on, Combs' public image has been greatly affected. Combs used to be seen as a respected businessman and important figure in hip-hop culture. Now he is being accused of serious crimes that could hurt his image and take away his freedom. His yearly parties, especially the fancy white party in the Hamptons. Did you then take the whole party back to your place or something? Did you do that? Was it DIY? Have been pushed to the background by these disturbing claims. The prosecutors are getting ready to present their case against Combs. They plan to use financial records, travel documents, and electronic communications to back up what they say. They also say they have videos of the freak-offs, which could be very important proof. Because the charges are so serious, if Combs is found guilty on all of them, he will have to spend at least 15 years in prison and could be locked up for life. The case keeps getting more complicated, and it's a good reminder of how complicated consent, power, and responsibility can be in the entertainment business. The public is paying close attention, and the outcome will probably have long-lasting effects on everyone. Diddy's legal problems are getting worse. How true are these claims, though? using their jobs to make Combs' bad behavior easier. A 9-year-old boy was reportedly abused during an audition for Bad Boy Records, which is another important case. I saw that yesterday, and it's not a bad movie. You saw Bad Boys 2, which is a good movie. Combs and a few other people at the studio are said to have abused the boy, who was offered a record deal. Cassie Ventura, a singer and dancer, also sued Combs, saying that he had been bad for years. Ventura said that Combs told her to kiss and make out with male workers. Even though this case was quickly dropped, it brought to light a pattern of behavior that other victims have also reported. A 15-year-old boy said that Combs offered to make him famous but first wanted to meet with him alone, away from his parents. He was asked to say something at this meeting. The boy said Combs did something wrong. In the same way, a 15-year-old girl said she was drunk at a party that Combs held. A 26-year-old woman said that Combs and others picked her up at the airport. At that point, he said he had been drugged and then sex with someone, which caused her to pass out. You shouldn't try to go too far with the theme, it should just look better. Several different sources have confirmed these claims, which have caused major court cases for Combs. Many of the victims' lawyers, Tony Busby, have talked about these cases in detail, focusing on how the claims against Combs are based on a pattern of wrongdoing. Even though these charges are very serious, Combs has denied them all, maintained his innocence, and said the accusations are false and hurtful. Other well-known people have been involved in the judicial proceedings against Combs. For example, Jones' lawsuit named a number of famous people who were said to have been involved with Combs or who had gained from being connected with him. Among them are Stevie J, a music artist and TV personality, and other people who were close to Combs but didn't want to be named. The case has become even more complicated by the presence of these people. There are now a lot of cases and a lot of victims coming forward. What does this all mean for Diddy's future? Could these claims really mean the end of his career? Stay tuned to learn more about his current legal fights and the bigger problems he's having in court. There are new serious and upsetting claims against Sean Diddy Combs. Do you know where Diddy is now? A lot of things are going wrong for Sean Diddy Combs right now with the courts. Right now he is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. Combs has been charged with several federal crimes, including trafficking and lying to the police. I also think about being raised when I think about another man. A lot of people are now interested in what effect he had on the music business. Combs has less control over how people see him now that he is being charged with crimes because they make him look more guilty for the crimes he is accused of. If Combs is found guilty, he could spend decades in federal prison. There is now a jail in which a private jet that used to take people to all those homes is kept. The jail is known for having terrible living conditions, and a term that would pretty much get rid of his job. Combs is still trying to make a living in the music business, even though things are bad. One of the music producers who sued Sean Combs says they worked with him and stuck with him for a while. He keeps making songs, working on new projects, and working with new artists. He was limited by the law, and he could spend a long time in jail. This made his future look bad. Being in court fights makes it hard for him to do his job well because he doesn't know what will happen next. What happens next for Combs will depend on how his court cases go. If he is found not guilty, he might try to get his job back and clear his name. Things will go badly if he is found guilty, though. Combs would go to jail for a long time. Let's be honest, he's in jail. It's not nice. This is meant to be tough. Also, the fines might be pretty large. He could also lose things that are linked to the crimes he is accused of, which would be bad for his business and finances. Combs' future is still in danger, and it's not clear what will happen next. Only one person showed up to my party. Help everyone understand that they can't or don't want to dance. Don't come. Do not come to my party. Don't come. Wow. A new party video of Diddy and Britney Spears has come out, which has caused a lot of talk and excitement. People in the media are talking about how they talk to each other because of their strange connection. What does this add to what we already know about Britney? What does this mean for Diddy's reputation? Let's look at how the new video of Diddy and Britney Spears' party changes everything. A lot of people like the new film. There is a link between Britney Spears and Sean Diddy Combs, but it might not be what most people think it is. An interesting fact about these two stars is that Lou M. Taylor used to be Britney's business manager. This is where the connection between them comes from. Taylor started TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, which had a big impact on Britney's life. During her well-known conservatorship, which began in 2008, this business was very important to her. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group has gotten a lot of attention because it has something to do with Britney's conservatorship. The people who knew Britney and didn't like her said that her management company made it hard for her to be free and make choices. Different people have had different ideas about how Taylor affected this time. People started to wonder if TriStar was really looking out for Britney's best interests or if they just wanted to make money and keep control of her job and image. When you think about how both Britney and Diddy have dealt with the huge pressures of fame, this history gives the link between them even more depth. The public picture of Britney Spears and Sean Diddy Combs together has made people talk about their breakup and what they've done in show business. The popular picture of Diddy and Britney together at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas in 2007 shows that they are linked. They were joined by Paris Hilton and rapper 50 Cent, who made the event very well known and got a lot of media attention. When Diddy turned 33 in 2002, he had a big party, which adds to the idea that he is a star in the entertainment business. He liked things to be fancy, as shown by the fact that he was brought in on a gold palanquin. It was clear from this flashy show that Diddy has been living a high-class life for years. A lot of well-known people, like Janet Jackson, Donald Trump, and Britney Spears, were at the event, who all posed for pictures with the lucky kid. The fact that Britney and Diddy's lives have come together shows how difficult celebrity culture can be. The game should have rules. Pick up any woman or child for Britney. Do you get what I mean? The game should have rules. Okay. Also, don't go too fast or hit other people. Both have dealt with their issues in public, but in various ways. Someone who knows how to throw a great party has always been Diddy. In many ways, Britney's journey has been hard, especially when it comes to her mental health and being on her own. We're interested in what stars and their jobs do behind the scenes because of the link between Lou M. Taylor and TriStar. Don't pay attention to what or how people talk about you. Also, it shows how tough things can be when you're well known. Because Britney had a rough time while she was in jail. It is interesting to see how the public and the media have changed over time. Don't be so hard on yourself, Britney. Life isn't that way. The fact that Britney is linked to Diddy through trial. Star may seem like a deep dive into the world of famous people. It makes me wonder even more. What other strange ties do these stars have to each other and how do they still work? Now, let's look at Britney's strange link to Diddy. Britney Spears' strange connection to Diddy has been in the news a lot over the years for many reasons. One of the most shocking is her link to Sean Diddy Combs. This link comes from TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group. People have said bad things about this well-known management firm for its part in Spears' conservatorship. For more than 10 years, this deal caused a lot of trouble. A big source of stress for the pop star. It is now the president and CEO of TriStar, and Lou M. Taylor helped to start it. He used to run Spears' business. Britney has said in public that Taylor played a big role in setting up her 2008 custody. Lou M. Taylor has been in show business for a long time, and she has worked with Diddy since the early 1990s. It's not entirely clear if Taylor is one of her famous clients, but she happily said in 2019 that he was. Britney's life and business are already very complicated, and the fact that Taylor and Diddy are linked only makes things more complex. Britney has also written bad things about Robin Greenhill in her book. Greenhill is the head of services for TriStar. The name of the artist Rodney Lil Rod Jones has been brought up again recently because he sued Diddy. Will also be up for days. The case says that Diddy did some really bad things. To keep up his good name and hide what he did, Combs abused, threatened, and forced people to do effing FERs. This could include bad physical behavior or behavior that is caused by drugs. Since this case came out just a few weeks after federal agents searched Diddy's homes as part of an investigation into trafficking, it makes his already bad reputation even worse. Homeland Security officers looked through the home of rapper Sean Diddy Combs. In 2021, a story said that Greenhill managed Britney's credit cards and medicines while she was under her care. TriStar reportedly paid for a security team to watch Britney with her own money, according to the story. Bree didn't hold back in her book. She said that Greenhill Taylor's was weird and that they, along with her dad Jamie Spears, picked on her when she felt stuck and helpless. Bree's experts had already looked into the big sum of money, which was about $18 million. That TriStar is said to have made with her money while she was under guardianship. A lot of people are talking about how moral management firms in the entertainment business are because of the study and the claims. These things have been said, but TriStar, Taylor, and Greenhill have said they didn't do anything wrong and that Britney's conservatorship was set up with the help of lawyers and court approval. People are more interested now that Diddy is having legal trouble with TriStar. Jones's claim says that Greenhill was one of many people who helped Diddy do what Jones says he did wrong. As part of the charge, kidnapping was used to force people into slavery. Jones said that Greenhill was the manager who made sure the workers were paid in this case. So, he said she was in charge of the money moves that made these things possible, which meant she was guilty of Diddy's charges. It is now said that Sean Diddy Combs abused 2 women in a big number of new cases. All the claims that have been made against Diddy have been strongly rejected. In August, he asked the court to throw out Jones' case because it was salacious and an attempt to make money off of his fame. It wasn't over for him, though. He was caught with trafficking drugs and is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York City, until his hearing. Britney Spears has been tamed for years and is still trying to find her own way. Her story is a lot like the current story about Diddy and TriStar. This shows how hard it can be to deal with fame and find your own freedom. That needs to be made very clear, in my opinion. The name Diddy is what I've picked. Britney Spears' friendship with Diddy takes a lot of turns that no one saw coming. Having said that, what are the new charges against Diddy? In what way is the issue big? What will happen to him now? We're going to talk about Diddy's shocking court cases and find out what the claims are really about. Then there are the top 2 floors of the hotel. Diddy Combs is in a lot of legal trouble because of the new charges against him. He is said to plan events known as freak-offs. Diddy also picked some partygoers to go to another VIP freak-out in the room next door. What difficult things is he said he did while acting badly. A lot of people are said to have done these things, which were even filmed. Some of these events went on for days, according to Combs' charges, and he and the other people involved had to get IV fluids to help them recover from the drugs they were using. The charges against Combs are very serious: trafficking, mischief, and transportation. He has pleaded not guilty to all of them. They make him fight in court because of more than just the charges. They also make him look bad in public. Combs is famous in the music business, but now he has to deal with a different kind of attention. The lawyer for Combs, Mark Agnifilo, recently spoke out about what federal officials said about the raids on Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles. During this raid, police are said to have taken away around 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Agnifilo played down the number, saying that because many Americans buy things in bulk, it might not be as crazy as it sounds. They have a brand new ice cube, therapy, because if it were, there would be no more people. He said those things to change the subject from the accusations to the idea that things adults do together with their approval shouldn't be seen as wrong. Even though claims have been made, Agnifilo says that his clients' acts are not illegal because they are private choices made by adults. That's why I didn't give a reason. I should not have done what I did in that movie. Cassie Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend, sued him for physical abuse, which got him in trouble with the law. Claims that Combs did wrong things in the past came up again in this case. The case was dropped quickly after it became public, but it caused a lot of other claims to be made. Combs is charged with controlling women for many years by making them do things they didn't want to. He used threats a lot to keep his victims under his control. They said Combs used the same businesses and networks that helped him become famous to make it easy for his crimes to happen. We caught Combs about 10 months after the first claims were made against him. His lawyers pushed for him to be locked up. His lawyers, on the other hand, wanted him to be freed on a $50 million bond and have automatic locks put on his house. Judge Robin Tarnowski, a U.S. magistrate, agreed with the authorities, though. I did it in court papers and I'll stick to them. Everyone agreed that Combs should stay in jail until his court date. Combs' public image has been hurt a lot while the court case is going on. Many people used to look up to Combs as a businessman and an important person in hip-hop culture. At this point, he is being charged with major crimes that could hurt his reputation and cost him his freedom. Every year he throws parties, like the fancy white party in the Hamptons. After that, did you have the party over at your house or something? Did you do it? Was it pee? These scary claims have put do-it-yourself projects in the background. The government is getting ready to make its case against Combs. There have been many victims of these claims for many years, and all of them have told horrible stories. The story of Rodney Jones is one of the most well-known. I really like this story. A music producer named Sean Diddy Combs sued him for $30 million, and now another producer named Lil Rod, whose real name was Rodney Jones, has put the blame on Combs. Jones said Combs did something bad, saying that Combs abused his power and connections. People who know and work with Combs, like Stevie J, were also involved in these crimes, according to Jones. They used their power to help Combs do bad things. It is said that a 9-year-old boy was abused during an audition for Bad Boy Records. This is another important case. That was yesterday. It's not a bad movie. I think Bad Boys is also a good movie. The boy was mistreated by Combs and a few other people at the studio. The boy was offered a record deal. Another person who sued Combs was singer and dancer Cassie Ventura. She said that he had been bad for years. Ventura said Combs told her to kiss and make out with people who worked for him. As soon as it was made, this case was over. In order to keep the cases going, I have to file new ones every week against Combs and the other suspects. In the past, Busby has done this, but it showed a trend of behavior that other victims have said they have seen too. A 15-year-old boy said Combs offered to make him famous but first wanted to meet with him without his parents. The boy said Combs did not follow the rules at this meeting. Also, a girl who is 15 years old said she was drunk at a party that Combs threw. A woman who is 26 years old said that Combs and some other people picked her up at the airport. It was there that he said he was drugged and then sex with someone, which made her pass out. Not too much of a theme, but enough to make it more interesting. These claims, which have led to big court battles for Combs, have been backed up by several sources. Tony Busby, who is one of the lawyers for many of the victims, has talked in depth about these cases, focusing on how the claims against Combs are based on a pattern of fraud. It's important to note that Combs has denied all of these claims, said he is innocent, and called them false and defamatory. There have been claims against Combs by other well-known people. Jones' case named a number of well-known people who were said to have been close to Combs or who had benefited from being close to Combs. Some of these people were close to Combs but didn't want to be named. Stevie J is a music producer and TV star. Having these people around has made things even more difficult. What does it all mean for Diddy's future now that so many people have accused him of wrongdoing? Might these charges really mean the end of his job? Listen to find out more about his current court cases and the problems he's having that are getting worse. There are worse and more upsetting claims made against Sean Diddy Combs. Do you know where Diddy is now? A lot of things are going wrong for Sean Diddy Combs right now with the courts. Right now he is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. Combs has been charged with several federal crimes, including trafficking and lying to the police. He was denied bail. This is being said for the people as well as the country's good.